Okay, finally a good map. For those tuning into the stream, this is the Enigma Glaive with Impulse Amplifier. I think it's absolutely necessary to make it more consistent. And I think Unstoppable Force is the move for most builds, but I'm going Frenzy just because of the handling. I don't care about the one-shot potential because if they're frozen, it's not going to one-shot anyway. So, or at least I don't expect it to one-shot anyway. So, Osiomancy boosts the Cold Snap tracking, but they're still really inconsistent. Just like Impulse Amplifier makes the Glaive more consistent. But it's not fully consistent. It still blanks out. So by using both the Cold Snap and the Glaive at the same time in tandem, it leads to very consistent setups. And honestly, one of the most broken builds in the game. I switched to my DMT. Should chain freeze, yeah. Oh, he still got me with that fusion. That was pretty hot. But you see how I'm working with this here, right? I'm delaying the cold snap for their aggression. Anytime I jump out into an open lane, I'm already glaive shielding. I'm trying to chain my freezes back to back, swap the proper weapon to have my one bang opportunity. Use the cold snap to equal aggression. If I slide, I cannot shield at the same time. I don't have cooldown, so I want him to reload. Wanted to be in that animation. He can nom-load right now with the glaive, so I gotta be real careful here. I should have whipped 180 and just held the shield down so I could survive one more bullet so my teammate could maybe pop off more. As you use this build, the optimal flowchart will make a lot more sense. So you can also bounce cold snaps off of walls and ceilings to delay its detonation so you can get back to active animation. So you can close the gap and be active. That was a false hit. I trusted that that was a false hit. That radar ping made me uneasy. Thought it was invis. Gonna let the cold snap do the search so I could push up. He wanted nothing to do with me. I set up the Emperif to start spawn farming. Of course you hit that. If I go up close, I gotta use my ability melee to start chain freezing. Looks like Glass is getting hit by that exclamation point. I'm gonna try to cut him off at B. If he holds the snipe, hopefully this hits. He did. That is Glaive inconsistency at its best right there. Every part of that interaction. So, y'all saw me popping off with this, and then you saw it being consistent. Overall, the parts where you pop off with this build outweigh the one time it doesn't work, or the 2 times it doesn't work. It's that strong. Let him reload. Almost had my cold snap. Wow, that's a lot of gamers. Let's bounce this as close to them as I can get this. Now I go. I still have an Emperif here. Let's use it. I was hoping to snake like one glaive shot there to get the shield, because that would have been a double for sure. And in the casual playlist, you need to go for things like that to really like accelerate your growth with the glaive, because these are absolutely going to get a fat nerf. I was guaranteeing that was going to hit. I'm about to have my melee. Oh, I thought he was going to die to the super. I missed the second glaive shot, but still thought the super would take it. Here. I can chain this if I need to. I will burn my whole kit on just one person. I don't feel bad about it because it's all about consistency. All you need is one opening, so make it as consistent as possible by burning your whole kit. So I'm glad that this game kind of showed like some ceiling and some very inconsistent setups. So yeah, you can absolutely pop off with this. I think the part that makes this a little too strong is you get 2 bullets off a pickup with this thick ass shield. The range is also kind of like velocity, so the more range you have, the more consistent it's going to be on that hit detection, especially when you shoot farther targets. Not just damage drop off, literal detection. So just keep that in mind. So I go for all range because I want it to be as consistent as possible. And since I had to tank the handling, I go Frenzy to fix that. DMT has low handling, so I go Snapshot here to try to fix the handling when popping in and out of aim down sights. Ideally, I would go Fluted Barrel here and maybe Steady Rounds for jump shots. Ricochet rounds would also be pretty cool though. As far as the build goes, I think an important thing to note is Whisper of Hedrons because of how often it's up. So you can have the benefits of 10 resilience without actually speccing into 10 resilience. A lot of games are super passive, so you want that fast discipline cooldown. If you're running these gloves, you should absolutely be at 10. If I was a super nerd, which I am, I would double up on Bleak Watcher and throw 2 turrets at a time before my team pushes in. But if I do that against casual players, the match is a wrap. So let's not be mean. For players that don't know where to look on the ceiling for turrets, they just get ran over and it's not enjoyable to do. It's not enjoyable to play against. But just know that your like grenade economy is going to be a lot better if you can backpack one. Chat's asking if Hedron helps Glaives. I don't know, but it gives me more resilience, which means I'm probably going to survive more. Alright, I want to go to the Thunderdome.
Zone C captured. Enemy claimed Zone A.
Nice. That's the best case scenario right there. Happened to be shoulder to shoulder and instantly caught the snap. So cold snap can lead to your aggression or punish their aggression. He had a yoink grenade right there, so that's fine. I was really hoping that cold snap would just like thermite grenade him right in the toe and freeze him, but a little too overzealous there. I had to burn the whole kit, not just one. That was my mistake for only throwing one ability. I'm gonna launch. Bad launch. That's fine. I missed my freeze. I also had like 4 guardians to keep track of right there. So landing 1 cold snap freeze could have led to 4. I want that green. Let's start isolating some fights. If I got that freeze, once again, that's a multi-kill potential. But again, 4 guardians at a time. I'm not beating that. If I beat it, it's a miracle. I'm not supposed to beat it. False hit.
Zone A captured. You have advantage.
They're just playing tower defense, so I'm going to load up another. I bounce this off the door. Psych, I missed it. Glaive versus Glaive is one of the stupidest interactions in this game. It's not enjoyable. I actually really don't like using Glaives just because of the small amount of inconsistency. At least with Impulse Amplifier. I would much rather use a shotgun or a grenade launcher just because it's a personal better choice for me. But I think overall, for majority of players, I lost him on the radar, by the way. For majority of players, you're much better off using a glaive. This can get you out of so many bad situations. I feel like my grenade launcher aim is pretty decent. So, like, I'm catching them in groups. They're just, like, ever so slightly fragmented, which means I'm not gonna catch all of them in the same freeze. And that's letting them outplay me pretty hard. They're gonna get that power for sure. That's a Galahorn. Nice, that a chain freeze. Just because I'm in a gunfight doesn't mean I can't just, like, pop somebody else. Still have an Emperor, so I can use it if I have to, that is. Alright, so he's coming around. Go look for his teammates. As you put damage on gamers, they typically will not repeak, so I know if I put a shot up in the tower, he's going to try to find me first before he repeaks. So I know I have like 1 second to fragment the 3 people looking near in my direction. I should have backpedaled immediately once I got that kill, but I thought I was safe. Not gonna chase that kill, it's not worth it. Got stuck by the child and the vortex at the same time with 2 other guardians on my back. Luckily, we have A and C though.
Keep it up.
I need help from teammates. I don't need to use my super in these matches. It takes way too long to defeat one gamer. I really need my teammates to play the map. There we go. That's how that should have went a couple fights ago.
This is amazing. Zone C lost.
It's a very obvious place that I'm standing. Well, I want the regular melee. I was too late to decide. I swapped back and forth. That's nothing to be proud of in a moat.
Zone C captured. Zone advantage is yours. 3 minutes.
Be happy when you pop off, not when your opponent messes up. Like, what am I gonna bag that guy because I happen to have a glaive shield? Remember that if you slide, you do not get a glaive shield. That player is messed up. Like, teammate has to keep the pressure, keep the radar on.
Finish them 2 for 1. Triple down.
There's no point in using my abilities because I lost that once I missed the first glaive shot. So I guess the lesson learned there is don't just fire randomly. Hold the shield and be annoying.
That's a power.
If I didn't get like flinched to the moon against that player, it would be fine. No super needed.
Demon for these zones.
I hate this map so much though. I have to work so hard to overcome my team's bad positioning. That's why I usually just queue out of this map. It's not a good showing of any build I throw on it because it's an uphill battle, like a huge uphill battle. Obviously, DMT has the opportunity to pop off, but if I'm sitting in the back, anchoring a bad spawn and we're not capping zones, we're going to lose. So it requires me to be like aggressive and get quads that are way too difficult to get with any loadout, let alone this one. So anyway, I hope you learned something new about the Glaive. I expect these to get a nerf, and I'm probably never going to touch them again because I just don't like them. Yet, I think this entire build is S tier. So, see y'all in the next one.